All right, you are welcome to today's class. Today we are continuing our discussions on Kenma's ICT Solutions, page number 236. So if your Kenma's is with you, kindly open to page 236. We are looking at Internet Etiquette, Internet Etiquette, Internet Etiquette, Internet Etiquette. That is what we are looking at right now. All right. Now, so we mentioned that etiquette are rules. They are rules, they are conventions governing correct or polite behaviors in a society or in a specific social or professional group or situation. Now, so every profession, they have some etiquette, they have some rules that govern their behavior, their attitude. Now, when it comes to the teaching profession, teachers, we have ethics that govern our activities as teachers. There are those do's and don'ts, okay, that govern our activities as teachers in the school context. Now, when you go to the army, you realize that the military personnel over there, they have their etiquette. Okay. Now, generally, when you come to the home, you realize that there are certain things that you are not supposed to do. There are certain things that your parents have forbidden you to do. And there are certain things that they are expecting you to do. Now, all these rules and regulations that govern our behavior, our conduct, our attitude at the home, at the workplaces, in our communities, and then the country at large. So there will be peaceful coexistence between people are what we refer to as etiquette. So the etiquette are rules, they are conventions, they are universally accepted ways of what? Behavior, okay, in a society. So the general behaviors that are expected from someone in the United States is more or less not different or more or less the same as what? The behaviors that we expect citizens of Ghana to demonstrate or to portray or display. So there are certain things that we expect from citizens of a country. Whether you are in the United States or whether you are in Ghana, whether you are in Togo, Burkina Faso, Namibia, Zimbabwe, wherever you find yourself, once you are a citizen of a particular country, you are supposed to conduct yourself in a certain way. Now, those ways, those behaviors, those attitudes that the society expects you to demonstrate are what we refer to as what? The etiquette. Okay. Are what we refer to as etiquette. So we are saying that in ICT, we interact with our friends. We also interact with what? Our parents. We interact with people that we don't even know. On the internet, we meet so many people. You get it? We meet a lot of people. We only know them on the virtual world. Most of them are people that we haven't even seen face to face before. But we are able to have conversations and interactions with all these people as a result of what? The internet. So now the internet has become a whole world on its own. That is how come we refer to the internet as what? A virtual world. Okay, so it's a world on its own. And so we are saying that the normal rules, the normal behaviors, attitude that you are expected to portray as a mature person, as a well-trained child, as a cultured child, you are supposed to translate those teachings, those good behaviors and attitudes when you find yourself on the virtual world. And in this case, when you are on the internet. Okay, so the way you will speak with people politely is the way we are expecting you to go about things when you meet people and you are communicating or interacting with them on the internet. You get it? So we know that you are not supposed to steal, you are not supposed to bully, you are not supposed to fight in school and those kind of things. Now, these rules and regulations of good behavior, we expect you to demonstrate same when you find yourself in the virtual world. And so the rules, the conventions, the acceptable behavior, conduct, attitude, characteristics that we expect from you, that we expect that you demonstrate, you portray on the internet are what we refer to as netiquette. So netiquette simply is defined as the guidelines or the conventions which control the way an individual should behave on the internet. So the netiquette is a body of rules, it's a body of regulations, okay, that control how users of the internet should behave towards one another. That is what the netiquette. So the netiquette describes a set of rules or proper manners that online users should adhere to. Okay. Now, so what are some of the rules and regulations in using the internet? Number one, Ken Mass, page 237. We are saying that avoid what? Sarcasm. So sarcasm means language or words that mean the opposite of what they seem to say. And usually they are intended to mock or tease. So we are saying that when you are writing email messages or when you are chatting someone on the internet, you have to go straight to the point. Do you get it? Now, say exactly what is in your mind, okay? And your actions must align with what you are thinking. What you will say, what you will type must reflect exactly what you are thinking, and then your actions must also reflect your words. So there should be an alignment. Your thinking must be in agreement with your words, and then what? Your actions. So now, when you are dealing with people on the virtual world, we are saying that do not say things that you seriously do not mean. So it's like you let the person, you say one thing and then you do another thing. It is not good enough. So we are saying that do not say, it says sarcasm means language or words that mean the opposite of what they seem to say and are intended to mock or tease. So when it comes to exam, you can simply write, do not what? Mock or tease others on the internet. Now, you have to respect others' what? Privacy. So we are saying that do not quote or forward personal email without the original author's permission. So there are some confidential messages that your friends will be sending you. Do you get it? And we are saying that do not forward such confidential messages to others without what? The sender's permission. It is not good enough. You're following it. It is not what? Good enough. So confidential messages must be treated as such. The last time I did explain that a situation where you happen to receive an email message and then the content of the message will jeopardize somebody's life, will cause what? Massive loss of lives and property, would affect society and community in a negative way, then such confidential messages must not be treated as confidential. You have to quickly alert the security agencies so they follow up, conduct investigations, and make sure there is what? Peace and order in the community. So if someone sends you an email, either by mistake or deliberately, and you realize that the content of the email message will affect the peace and then the progress of a country, or it will put your fellow human being in danger, you have to alert the security agency so they take it up and then make sure they protect such an individual. is very, very important. And so avoid pornography online. So we have spoken about sarcasm. We are also saying that respect others' privacy. So do not quote or forward personal email without the original author's permission. And then the third point is that avoid what? Pornography online. Yeah. So on the internet, there are some websites that publishes pornographic pictures. Okay, they show pornographic videos. And one thing you have to understand is that these pornographic materials, they can influence your behavior in real life. Those who engage in sexual abuse, those who uh, become victims of teenage pregnancies and those kind of things, when you study, if you are to conduct a research right now, you realize that they were people that were into pornography. Okay, so they were browsing pornographic sites, watching pornographic materials, receiving and then forwarding or sending pornographic materials to other people, and all sort of things. You see, so when you consistently watch these things, they tend to affect your real life behavior. And so by the time you realize, you'll be doing something uncalled for, and you might end up destroying your life. So you have to take note. So we are saying that avoid pornography online. And then when someone happens to send you a message, we are saying that acknowledge and return messages promptly. Acknowledge and return messages promptly. And then also keep messages concise. You see, on the internet, it seems no one has time to read lengthy messages. So whatever you are saying, you should be concise. It should be short and then straight to the point. But when your messages are too long, we are saying that it makes it boring, okay, to read. So you might have a very good point, but because the message is too long, it might deter others from reading, okay. So we are saying that keep messages concise, and then use appropriate languages when online, especially in chat rooms. Okay, do not use rude or vulgar languages, and then also observe good grammar and spelling in email messages. And you have to also learn how to use emoticons, and the emoticons that you choose should be able to convey the exact meaning that you want to portray. Yeah. And then avoid sentences typed in all capital letters, because we consider it as what? Shouting or screaming. And also do not contribute to worthless information on the internet by sending or responding to unwanted or worthless messages. And then avoid flaming when sending emails. Flaming is what? Sending messages that contains insults or hostile languages. And then you are also to help internet newbies. There are some people who are new on the internet, and so when they are in need of something and you think you are in the best position to help, you have to help them. You have to help them. But I want to stress on uh, avoid spamming or junk mail. It says do not contribute to worthless information on the internet by sending or responding to unwanted or worthless messages. On WhatsApp, some messages that people forward, most of them are worthless. They are not needed. They haven't taken time to research to find out whether the messages they are forwarding are true or not. They don't even find or cross check to see whether the messages are true. Once they have received the message, then they also forward. So there are people that are contributing to the spread of what? Fake news, fake messages, and fake stuff. Okay, so you being IT student, don't be in a haste to forward messages. You have to verify whether the message you have received is authentic and whether it is worth it when you forward to others. Okay, so sometimes you'll be there and then they will tell you, oh, let's say Nokia is celebrating an anniversary, click this, they have a special prize for you. Those messages are worthless. You see, and you will see that they will be forwarding and forwarding and forwarding and forwarding and forwarding. You being IT student, you don't have to contribute to forwarding and sending these worthless stuffs. Okay, so you have to take note. You have to be very you should be in the best position to ascertain whether the messages are true and whether they are also necessary to be forwarded to other people before you do that. Don't just receive and then forward messages without verifying whether the messages are true or not. So you have to take it, because nowadays we often use what, the WhatsApp even more than what, the internet. Yeah. So these are some of the rules and regulations in using the internet, And you have to also learn to obey copyright laws online. So do not distribute copyrighted materials illegally or download printed materials such as what, music, video, software, etc. online. Okay. Someone has toiled and come out with a very good music or video or a software. If the person is not giving it out for free, don't try to find dubious means to get the software. If it requires that you purchase to acknowledge that you appreciate the good work of what, the person. So it's very important. So in short, we can say that, remember what, the human, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So when you are on the internet, remember the golden rule that do unto others as you would want them do unto you. Okay. And then also adhere to the same standards of behavior online that you follow in real life. So the way you conduct yourself, the way you interact with people with dignity and respect, it is the same way we expect you to demonstrate that attitude when you are online. And then know where you are in cyberspace. Okay. Know where you are in cyberspace. So you have to understand that the internet is what? It's a virtual world. There are some things that you post to your friend and your friend will not be peeved. Okay. But that same message, if you are to forward to someone in a different geographical location or in a different country, it might be an insult. So you have to know that you are in cyberspace. So you have to check and cross-check whatever you put there, so that you wouldn't sound as what, an uncultured, uncivilized person or untrained person. So because it's very important, because cultures vary from one country to another. So you have to be careful on how you communicate with another person in different culture or country. For example, in Ghana or in Africa, we are of the view that if you are contracting marriage, if you want to marry, it is what, the man who goes to marry what, the woman. But this is not the case in India. You see, so when you are putting things on the internet, or when you are addressing readers on the internet, you have to know that it is a virtual world, and everyone has his or her own culture. So you must have all these things in mind before you post anything out there for people to read. It's very, very, very important. Very, very, very important. Okay. And then respect other people's time and bandwidth. Okay. And so we are saying that make your written communication meaningful and straight to the point. And then also make yourself look good online. How do you make yourself good online? We are saying that check your spellings and then your errors, your grammatical errors, know what you are talking about and then state it clearly, and then be pleasant and polite. You get it? Yeah, it's very important. And then share expert knowledge. So if there's something that you know and you think you can be of help to others when they need a help, just offer them that help. Very important. And then don't contribute to what? To flaming. Don't contribute to flaming. Yeah. So these are some of the things that you have to take note of. Respect other people's privacy. Don't abuse your power. Be forgiving of other people's mistakes and stuff. Good. So these things are very important. Take note. At least you must know not less than 10. You must know not less than 10. No etiquette, no netiquette, and then the rules. Okay, avoid sarcasm, respect others' privacy, avoid pornography online, return or respond to messages promptly, use appropriate language, use appropriate emoticons, avoid typing in all capital letters, avoid contributing to worthless information and those kind of things, and then avoid flaming and those things. Okay, at least you must know 10. It's very, very important. You must know 10. Now, the next aspect has to do with rules and regulations for using the computer lab. And we are saying that the computer instructor or the ICT teacher takes care of the computer, switches on the computer before lessons, and shut down the computers after lessons, make sure the lab is clean, and then ensures that the computers are functioning properly and are in good conditions. And then also the ICT teacher makes sure that the that no computer or no parts of the computer gets missing or damaged. Good. So there are responsibilities that ICT instructors are to follow, and then also there are some responsibilities that students also have to what follow. Okay, there are some rules. So we are saying that students should keep the lab neat. No student should take anything from the lab, and then don't bring CDs, pen drives, external storage devices into the lab to download stuff or to copy something without the knowledge or the permission of what the ICT teacher. And then you are not also allowed to insert removable storage media into the computer without permission. And no student is allowed to eat in the lab. So with that, you are not to also bring food or drink into the computer lab because it is not meant for eating. If you want to eat, go to the canteen and eat. Now, no student is allowed to switch on the computer or switch it off without what? Permission. These are some of the things that you should know. These are some of the things that you should know as far as internet etiquette is concerned. So the syllabus stresses that we should be able to apply the rules and regulations in using the internet, and then develop rules and regulations for using the computer lab. These are the things that the syllabus stresses that we know. But in exam, they would ask you what is etiquette or what is netiquette, and then the rules and regulations in using the internet, and then also the responsibility of what the students as far as the ICT lab is concerned, the do's and then the don'ts. Good. That is that. Now, do you have any question? Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. So I have a question.
Yeah, ask.
So please, I didn't come early. So the netiquette and the etiquette, I'm a little bit confused.
All right. Now, I closed the book. Okay. I explained that the etiquette are the general rules. Okay. The general regulations, rules and regulations that we deem beneficial for all of us to what? To comply with. The general rules and regulations that we must follow in a society to ensure what? Peace, orderliness, and then peaceful coexistence between one another. But when you take the netiquette, we are saying that the internet is a virtual world on its own. So the correct attitude and behaviors that you portray at home, the way you conduct yourself at school, the way you conduct yourself properly at the workplace, it is the same way we expect you to also conduct yourself when you find yourself in the virtual world. And in this case, when you are on the internet. So now the netiquette are the guidelines. They are the rules that internet users must follow when they are online. That is what netiquette is. So netiquette is defined as the rules which describe the use of proper manners and behaviors online, or netiquette is defined as the guidelines or the conventions which control the way an individual should behave on the internet. Okay, and the rules and regulations are many. So in real life, you can't watch pornography in the presence of your mother. You can't watch pornography in the presence of your teacher. So now this attitude, this good quality is what we also expect you to demonstrate when you find yourself on the virtual world. So now, don't do that. Don't browse pornographic sites, and don't download pornographic materials. And then we are saying that the same way you respect people, it is the same way you are to respect others. Your friend can confide in you. Your friend can tell you a secret. Must you go about telling everybody? No. So if you won't do this in real life, then we are saying that on the internet too, respect others' privacy. When someone sends you a message which is confidential, don't what forward the confidential message to others. Maybe your friend tells you that he or she will be traveling to US next 3 days. Your friend trusts you so much that he confides you, he sends you an email informing you about his or her travel. He doesn't want the family or even the siblings to know that he will be traveling to the US 3 days to come. Now you receive the message and then you broadcast it. You haven't been faithful to your friend. So the same way in real life, you won't do that. We expect you not to also do same on the internet. And then do not mock people, do not tease people, because it will lead to flaming. Okay, it's very important. And then
Yes, sir.
we are saying that don't type in capital letters throughout, because that is considered as you are shouting or you
Okay.
are screaming. And then there are always people who are new on the internet. So if they need assistance, do help them out. And we are also saying that be aware of cyber what? Bullying. And then obey copyright laws. And also think before posting. All these things are rules and regulations that we are to observe, that we are to follow when we find ourselves on the internet. And I mentioned something and explained that on WhatsApp, you will see that some uh, uh, sometimes they will forward a message to you that, let's say Nokia, they are having a ceremony and they are giving some award or some prizes for free. Click on this link, click on that link. These messages are worthless. They are not never true. You see, and you see people be forwarding and forwarding and forwarding and forwarding and forwarding. It is never good. It's not a good habit. So we are saying that you being IT student, you have to verify the authenticity of any message that you receive. Be sure of the source. Be sure the message is authentic. Be sure the message is true. Be sure the message is what? Trustworthy, reliable. Before you forward to others, don't just forward because a trustworthy friend of yours forwarded the message to you, so you think, oh, because Reverend Foster forwarded this message to you, then the message is true. Now, I told you how that there was a WhatsApp video that I received from one of my professors about the COVID, okay, the nose mask, how that yeah, there are some germs and those kind of things inside.
When
Yeah, I told you that me, I have some of the nose masks here. So I am coming home quickly to conduct my own test and verify the authenticity of the message that I've received before, if I feel like I have to forward and create awareness, then I do so. So don't just receive the message and be forwarding and before them. No, you have to verify until you know that this is true. If you can't verify, don't forward. If you know you can't verify to see whether the message is authentic or not, then don't verify. Just read and let it remain with you. Don't forward. It is as simple as that. So don't contribute to the sending of what? Worthless messages. Good. Now, we are also saying that use what? Appropriate languages when online, especially online chats and emails. You see, so we are not only focusing on the internet, because as I explained, now a lot of us use what? The WhatsApp a lot. Okay, so these rules that we are learning here, you have to apply these rules even when you are chatting your friends on WhatsApp. Okay, you have to apply them so they become part and parcel of you. It is then that when you find yourself on the internet too, you can what? Apply them. Because whatever you post out there, it travels with the speed of light. Now we are in a group. You see, when I wanted you to join me, I just posted one single message, and all of you received the message at the same time. That is how messages move. That is how messages travel nowadays. So you just send one message, and billions of people have received it at the same time. You see, so you have to be very careful the kind of things you send, the kind of things you post out there. And so always know that your culture is different from other people's culture. And so whenever you are putting something out there, read, reread, think about it to see whether you are not offending anyone before you forward what? The message. It's very important. It's very, very, very important. So take note. And then we continue to the rules and regulations for using the computer lab. Things that the ICT teacher must take note, and then things that students or pupils must also follow when they come to the IT lab. So we are saying that you have to keep the lab clean, and then don't take anything from the lab, and then don't bring any external devices to the lab without what? External storage devices to the lab without permission. And then do not insert removable storage media into the computer without what? Permission. And then you are also not allowed to bring in food or drink into the computer lab. And then you are not supposed to switch on the computer or switch off the computer without what? Permission. Any other question?
No, sir.
All right. Okay. So if no question, then we bring our lessons to a close. According to my time, it is 8:11. Then we stop here so you can continue revising the other subjects. Yeah, the other subject. All right. Who is Jam Baby? Who is Jam Baby?
Assembly Jane 4.
And who is iPhone?
That one I don't know.
Jeffrey Nanoti. Who? Okay. Bunny, Paddy, Pamela, Samuel. Pamela, let me hear your voice. Are you sure you are with us?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. That's good. And then Suzanne, Samuel. Yeah. All right. If you have any other question, you can ask. But learn basic storage devices. The storage devices and then the storage media, magnetic stuff and those things. Very important. Yeah, we will continue, God willing, tomorrow. Tomorrow there will be a class. So take note. All right. Okay. We end here.